Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Macanu Plays, or today, as we've been making a pattern of this, Macanu Reacts. We will be continuing our journey into Epic the Musical, and for the most part, I want to ask Quoted, the one who is joining me, what do you remember from the last video, or the last batch of songs?
Um, well, Odysseus' best mate died.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot his name already.
Polites.
Polites died.
Hey, Quoted.
Mm.
Remember Best Boy Polites?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just saw him on the ground.
Yeah, he's now Best Boy Puddle.
Athena has basically given up on Odysseus because he's been a idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Odysseus proved he's a idiot by after very, very intelligently tricking the Cyclops by saying his name is Nobody, tells the Cyclops his name.
You're gonna make me have to censor your fucking mic so many times. We're not even in the first minute of the video. I can't even say, yeah, no, it's first minute. Okay, fine, whatever. You're gonna have a quack sound effect. I hope you enjoy. Hey, Fiddles, welcome in. So we're continuing
I
on.
can't. I might be getting censored, but you can't say I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. First song is Storm of this lineup, and the animation is by I I don't know how to say that name.
Zinma Natsil?
We're gonna go with it.
Zinmana? Zinmana Natsil? I'm gonna go with that, yeah.
Yeah, I got no
Zinmana
clue.
Natsil.
But same rules as always. Their link to this video will be in the description of this video as well. And I've already subscribed to this animator. I have made it my goal to subscribe to every animator on this list to show the love and support that they deserve for putting all this hard work in. I highly recommend you all do the same. And let's get into Storm. Dun, 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 dun. Think I've listened to this enough times. Again, look how young Odysseus looks when this animator does it. I keep pointing this out. All the animators have very different impressions of how old they think Odysseus would look.
That's fair. A lot of Greek mythology doesn't really ever specify an age, but it's well known that kids used to go to war.
Yeah, I think the
like,
implication
basically
here
anyone
was that
above
he
you.
was probably in his like middle 20s to late 30s or early 30s or something when this journey started. Like more as in like when they were at this part of the journey, because this is the return home is I think longer than the time that they were out at war.
I'd imagine that he's probably expected to have been about 15-ish when he went to war.
I can see that. I would love if somebody actually had some knowledge of the original source material that could throw in some like, hey, that's what you need to know.
Have grown in strength and size. Is it nature or divine or a blessing in disguise? Our homes inside. This storm's our final fight. There's no time to die. Comrades, sir, brace for a storm. The lights of which we've never.
We need a lore. Nope. I ain't falling for that.
With hope so close, we must keep pushing forward. Full speed ahead towards the island, but avoid the crashing wave.
We need to get home. We might die in the process, but just keep pushing forward. You can do it. Seems like a little bit of copium, gotta say. Odysseus, you're
Sound very Greek.
a little bit. Odie, you gotta keep your people alive to get there, bud.
Tread where the tide is flat, and then you will be safe. Captain, we will capsize with these waves. Our fleet will fail. Have them follow my ship. I'll ensure that we prevail.
You sure about that?
You're taking too much.
you sure about that?
At this rate, we will make it.
An island in the sky.
Island in the sky. You really just grab the harpoons, as many as you can find. What do you have in mind? We're gonna shoot for the sky. What?
You know, this is one of the few times where I actually have to give it to like Eurylochus, and the fact that Odie says some really stupid stuff every now and then. This might have been one of Odie's finer moments of, huh? What was that?
You know, the line between genius and madness is thin, and he's skating on it.
Yeah, yes, he is. Like legitimately, like even I didn't notice this in the animation. He is face palming right now. Why are we doing this, Odie? Why?
How are you leader? How did this happen?
Everyone grab a harpoon and aim it high. We're shooting for
The island in the sky.
in the sky.
Who had the? I want to know because if you watch this, who had the super arm to get it into the bottom of the island? That's what I want to know.
I mean,
One of them is Saitama, and they're just not telling the rest of the crew.
definitely for that strength. I mean, have you heard of a harpoon?
Actually, no. I've thrown a
Actually, it's
lance
not easy.
before.
It's a similar aspect, except imagine a little bit heavier,
Hmm,
weighted more.
gotcha. Oh wait, the quoted right here, the bottom corner of the screen, like Eurylochus. This is him. That's you. Every time we play certain games, this mother.
It's either me or it's you when I decide to do something.
Pretty much, yeah. It's specifically
Well.
Halo was been the one that I had the most moments of like that. All right,
Yeah,
so
that's
that
about right.
was
Give me a second.
Storm. Again, please go subscribe to the Animatic creator. They did an amazing job. And I think I love their comedy of how they capture certain things and bring it into the real moment or the real world. The next one, I have a love-hate relationship with this song. I'll explain when we get into it. Oh wait, who animated this one? This one was animated by Crashite? I think Crashite would be the technical name here. Go make sure you show
Back.
some love over to Crashite. Hey, welcome back. We just got to the start of this song and we were shouting out the creator for the animation. So this song is a little foreshadowing. It's irritating because this goes into this whole like talking about how you guys put all your faith in this one dude this entire time, and then when you're almost home, you start doubting him, and that's the only context. Yo, Aura, welcome in.
Please don't tell me you're about to do what I think you'll do.
Pop off, Eurycles.
You've heard the legends of the island in the sky. This proves they're true. We're in the home of the wind god.
We don't know for sure.
I gotta say, like, the line between animatic and animation is a little blurry for me in this case, because just look how good they did with this.
How many floating
Yeah.
islands have you seen before? This
Wait, hold up. I forgot how much of a, like, actually moment here.
proves they're true. We're in the home of the wind god.
We don't know for sure.
How many floating islands have you seen before?
This is the home of the wind god.
And what's your plan?
I'm gonna climb to the top,
Top and ask him for a hand.
You could be caught off guard and lose your life. Worthless of this god and infuse us with strife.
I will give him credit. Odysseus has a habit of pissing off the gods. He does.
Oh, to be fair, he's only pissed off Athena as far as I'm really seeing it. Because he didn't piss off Zeus. He kind of just followed his instruction, which probably was a bad idea in all fairness.
It's
And
more
he
along the lines
did
of going toe to
upset
toe.
Athena.
Well, so Athena, yes. I guess I may have spoiled something, but anyway,
I mean, I don't doubt it. Odysseus seems like the kind of guy that would piss me off, so he's gonna fuck up us. I know it, but
exactly.
Don't forget how dangerous the gods are.
Have faith, friend, we've come this far.
Yes, but how much longer?
Oh,
till
this is such a
runs out? How
Wow.
much longer till the show goes south? How much longer till we all fall down? You
rely on wind and people die on it. That is such a hard line. You rely on wit and people die on it. That
he's fucking right.
oh, it hurts. I love
really-
how well Jorge did with the like writing of the lyrics. Like I said, one of the things that you'll notice as we get further into this is how much back reference like all of the songs later on have to premises from the earlier songs. But in a general sense, and also the animators do some really good jobs hinting at some things because you're about to witness like an absolute murder.
How much longer till the show goes south? How much longer till we all fall down? You rely on wind and people die on it. Whoa.
I still believe in goodness. I still believe that we could be kind. Lead from the heart and see what starts.
He just wants to be a
And
good
what
buddy.
will we do when it tears us apart?
Buddy, watch it with that. That's just
Buddy,
mean. Like that just
Yeah, Lord.
happened for the record. Like, did you have to rub salt in the wound like that? First, he had Athena up in his face about it, and now he has his like second in command calling him out.
In fairness, though, the second in command should. Like he's
Second-
100% in the right. You're really what's his name?
Eurylochus.
Eurylochus.
It
He's
takes some
100%
time.
on the right spot for this because his entire job is to kind of second guess any command that could go wrong. This is clearly one.
Yes, but also he could have done this in private instead of in front of the
Trying
crew.
to take a commander, trying to take Odysseus off the ship would probably have just been as difficult. I don't imagine him going for a small chat in this corner of the ship.
Nope, I didn't say anything.
Where is this coming from, my friend?
I just don't wanna see another life end. You're like the brother I could never do without.
And suddenly you doubt that I could figure this out.
Captain, how
Much longer till your luck runs out. How much longer till the show goes south? I need to make a pause. We're gonna run it back because it's just so clean. I want you to know that Jorge also was like in charge of the instrumentals, and the thing that he says his most competent instrument is the piano, which is why piano is what he has tied with Athena. But I love how the piano comes in on this track as well. It is so good.
It is.
how much longer till the show goes south?
How much longer till we all fall down? You rely on it and people die on it. Whoa.
How much longer till
Till
the
the
snake
snakes
breaks free? How much longer till your great day cease? How much longer till your strength takes leave? You rely on wish and people die on it. Whoa.
Thank you for the concern, but brother, I can assure you, our journey is almost done. I understand that we're tired, I understand that we're phased, but don't forget how much we've already faced. I took 600 men to war, and not one of them died there. In case you needed a reminder,
This moment.
if you'd like to speak more, let me pull you aside then. I need to talk to you in private.
You were saying quoted?
I can't have you planting seeds of doubt. I can't have you disagreeing each route.
Yeah, no,
I
like,
need you to always be devout and comply with this, or we'll all die in this. Okay.
I'm sorry, what was that quote?
I still think that he's right. I actually think Odysseus wouldn't have taken, like, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as easy to get Odysseus to go to Asaya to chat.
I don't know. Like I'm
I
kind
think
of
Odysseus
so
is cocky. I
Odysseus is
think he's cocky.
cocky, but I do think that there, to a certain extent, that his right hand has to have some level because they've been at sea at war for years. They are literally have home in sight. They do kind of hint at it. That the main issue is there's a big storm between them and home. That if people start losing their like Odysseus's role as the leader is to make sure everybody else keeps in compliance and keeps everybody like from panicking. Like they're the person that you would like keep a secret about something going wrong to make sure that the whole ship doesn't panic. So calling attention to all of his faults when they're so close to home can be a little bit counterproductive.
I don't disagree, but I don't see Odysseus being. It's also difficult for his second hand to really try and talk to him, and I think it'd be even harder trying to suggest going away to talk after he's made a whole plan in front of the crew, kind of showboating it. He's
He
too
has to
cocky, and I
showboat it
know
though.
he does.
He has to
But
be
at the
confident
same
so the crew
point, he
believes in
hasn't
it.
really seen. He's very much got main character syndrome. He doesn't fucking really ask for opinions for any of his plans. I think
To
that's why
be
he did it in front
fair,
of the crew.
he probably had Athena in his head for about a decade before while this was all going on. So like he doesn't have that anymore. He isn't confident in himself, so he has to play it off a little bit. That's just my take on this. Because before he had a
I don't
god like looking
disagree.
over his every action.
I just think that because of that situation, I'm assuming like maybe he hasn't or maybe he has, but if he's ever informed the two guys that were with him, the one who's now dead and his best mate, and the current second in command who's meant to kind of do all the bring him down a bit to earth. I think that's why it's difficult.
I hear you.
It's like he's had a god backing him up in most of his plans. So obviously you think, okay, well he's got something coming up with his plans. They've finally had losses. He lost his best mate, and then he's trying to showboat his next plan. It's one of those things where if you think about it enough, like if I don't know how to describe it besides like if there's a situation where we were in a similar situation and you were trying to showboat a big plan, I would feel like I have to try and call you to any attention of detail that would need to be called out to. I don't think it's as good an example because I don't think you'd really run into showboating, but you know what I mean.
I hear the implication. I see it from both ways, and also if we can get a ban over on Kick from that bot, please get the hell out of my stream. Never come back. Leave. Bye.
Got it.
I suppose where I stand on this is like I see where Odysseus's point is, where he has to keep everybody compliant because if the biggest thing that could destroy them right now would be a mutiny, and
I can't see a mutiny happening. Is the thing. That's why I see where you're coming with the mutiny idea. They need unity right now.
mm-hmm.
I don't see anyone on that ship thinking they can do better. Especially with the whole thing of like nobody dying in the war. Like that's a grand standalone. He's also king
One
and
moment.
definitely has loyal followers, and he got us and got them food. I can't see them really mutinying, but I can also see, his plans being needed to be questioned.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna wind this back a little bit. All right.
I need you to always be devout and
Comply with this, or we'll all die in this war.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the next song is literally one of Giggle's all-time favorites.
Okay.
All-time favorite out of the entire musical. This is one of her all-times, and honestly, it kind of is one of my all-times as well. It is really good, really
I'm
enjoyable.
just gonna say I really like the previous song solely for the idea of it like having a lot more. You have to like we've had the biggest argument on this one out of all of them so far.
Yeah, no, I definitely, because I see it.
Very important argument.
So this may sound very egotistical. I think I see it from Odysseus' side more so than Eurylochus, because I'm usually one in our friend group who has to take charge of what we end up doing.
I don't disagree.
It's
That's the best
constant.
part.
The
I
most
see it
annoying
from
thing in
his
the world.
side.
I am always the one who has to decide what we're doing because nobody makes decisions. I say it with love. So in our friend group,
I can't disagree.
for those who don't know this about me, I am surrounded by some of the most indecisive people in the world, and I love them. I love Kit, I love Giggles, I love Quoted. They know this. Those are the people I hang out with a lot. When I ask, hey, what do you guys want to do? I never get any feedback. Everybody is so, yeah, I could do that, but nobody ever like throws an idea forward. So I inadvertently become the leader of the team to decide what game we play on a given day. And I'm okay with it because I've been doing it for years, but I used to have some seriously bad social anxiety, so taking charge on anything sucked in the beginning.
Okay, I'm gonna half defend myself on this. My social anxiety forced me to just be like, I'm complacent with any game, so then I didn't ever have the point of giving a goddamn.
To be fair, if I held on to that and then all four of us were like that, we would be in a position where we'd never actually load anything up. We'd be like, I guess we're just going to sit here because nobody's going to say a name. But no, it's just, I guess I feel for Eurylochus and the fact that he's doing what he thinks is his best for his captain. But I also see Odysseus' stand of it because I think Odysseus is the bigger picture, where Eurylochus is more focused on the finer details.
I kind of see it more from a Eurylochus's standpoint, so I think that's kind of the greatest part of this. Is that, like you say, you see it from Odysseus. I definitely think I am more Eurylochus.
By the way, good to see you, Chloe. You caught us in the middle of a ramble right there. Good to see you, though.
Good timing, yeah.
All right.
Welcome.
So, this is one of my favorite songs. This may be Giggle's absolute favorite song. I think she has one more she might like more than this. It is such a good bop, though. Oh, wait, what's the animator? Hold up. Oh, the animator's Gigi! We're back to Gigi! Hell yeah!
Hell yes.
All right, Gigi's awesome. I like Gigi.
Hold up, both dads were rambling?
Apparently, we're both dads now. Just roll with it.
Oh shit.
Great wind god Aeolus, I don't know if you know this.
Love the flute, by the way.
Home is blocked by an impenetrable storm. I ask for your assistance so we at last can go the distance. Can you cast the perfect winds for us and aid our journey home?
Ha ha ha!
Every time when I first see this video. So all the gods have their own little quirks. I love how Aeolus' thing is, ah ha ha.
Oh my god.
Oh, Aeolus.
A little bit.
Aeolus is
Aeolus.
great. And also,
Brilliant.
I'm going to let you know, I'm going to do my best to remind myself to pause because I saw in our first reaction video, when we got to a song I really liked, which was Arms Open, the Polites song, I didn't pause but like twice, and I'm like, oh god, that's a really bad reaction. Whoops. I vibed out way too hard. So we're going to try and avoid that with this being another one of my favorites.
Fair enough. What we can do is, if you ever want, we can just go back over it. It's not gonna be like a fresh reaction, but we can go over it and decipher it.
Yeah. You'll see exactly why this one is a favorite of so many people's, though. Real quick. One, Aeolus' voice is great. Journey home. Ah ha ha!
Ha ha ha! I am the wind, twisting and turning. I give the fire enough to stay burning.
Can we just like point out like I don't know, is that a hip hop beat in the back? Bum 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 bum, or is that like a lo-fi beat? I don't know. I'm not the most musically inclined, but I love underneath the flute and everything else. You can just hear the.
Let's play a game. That's what I'm serving. And if you win,
It almost sounds like a heartbeat, which makes it a lot more morbid than I think it's supposed to be. But yes, Aeolus is proposing a game. Playing a game with a god always seems like a bad idea, but this one I thought was pretty fair.
That's what I'm serving, and if you win, you will get what you're yearning. Take a look right here at this bag. It has the winds of the storms all trapped. All you gotta do is not open this bag.
Sounds too easy, what's the catch?
Ha ha ha. Keep your
Friends
friends close and your
enemies closer.
never really know who you can trust. If they wanna get the bag open, you gotta say no, sir. Sometimes killing is a must.
What?
'Cause
That was really, really horrible, by the way. Sometimes killing is a must.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, that caught me off guard.
So, real quick, I want to point out,
Yeah.
the
It
thing I
is-
love about the song is she is like in the utmost, like this is the most fair game she could have gave him. Like if you have
Yeah.
a deal with a god and it's like, hey, all you have to do, just don't open the bag. Now me, if I was Odie, I'd be like, are you sure about that? No, just don't open the bag. Nobody can open the bag. Just keep it close to you. You'll be fine. Storm's in the bag. You're good. Okay. Nothing else. There's no tricks. No tricks.
Honestly, a lot of the Greek gods, like, isn't Hades known for having a similar, like, simple challenge but ends up failing?
I
Like,
believe
the Greeks
so.
apparently can't do simple challenges. Wasn't it like, if my memory's right, it was a son came, not a son, it might have been the partner of a woman, went to hell or the underworld and whatever they call it, and Hades' deal was just don't look back at them and just walk hand in hand to the exit.
Mm-hmm.
That was the entire challenge, and I think he failed like at the end.
Yep, I'm pretty sure as well. The story of a man getting his wife from the underworld. Ah,
There we go. Thank you.
yeah. So I just want to point out, like, one job.
if they wanna get
Get the bag open, you gotta say no, son. What?
'Cause the end always
Justifies
justifies
the
the
means.
means. Friends turn to foes
Foes
with
with
rivalry.
rivalry,
So
so
keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Never really know who you can trust.
Captain, what's happening? What's trapped in that bag?
I say it again. Every time he comes back to the ship and his men are like, Captain! It's like, boy, let the man process what just happened a little bit. She's behind
I
him.
disagree with the people, to be fair, though, considering he just went to go see and make a deal with a god.
I get that, but like, I've gone to a point because of how many times I've listened to this. I have like an anger response whenever his men go, Captain! It's at a point that I'm actually annoyed with his crew. All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Captain, what's happening?
And my favorite line's about to pop up.
Something dangerous, friends, we mustn't lie.
It's treasure.
There was a trick, damn it! That's not my favorite line.
Flying ships.
Yeah. So for the record, yeah, Odysseus like, nope, just don't open the bag, right? That's it. Don't open the bag. Yep, don't open the bag. Captain, it's treasure. What the fuck? I'm lurking, but also driving. Yeah, please lurk if you're driving. You don't need to be typing while you're driving. She was behind
Big
him.
travels, kid.
Never made a
Sorry.
sound or footsteps. Okay. What? This next line.
Let's see
Do
what
what
you
you-
got.
No, do not. Everyone listen closely. See how this bag is closed. That's how it's supposed to be. I love his cadence on that line. It's like somewhat like hushed whispers because he's trying not to let this whole thing spread. But the way he delivers that line to me is so clean.
You know, all things considered, why doesn't he just say, the god said that this bag must remain closed and we get what we want?
He
That would be so
does.
simple.
He does.
All right.
Yeah, it continues. Like I paused it really just because I really like that line. Every time the song comes up, I always try to match that cadence because it's like so smooth to me. I don't know why.
Something dangerous, friends, we mustn't lie.
It's treasure. What? Bye-bye.
Open the bag. Let's see what you got.
No, do not. Everybody listen closely. See how this bag is closed. That's how it's supposed to be. This bag has the storm inside. We cannot let the treasure rumor fly.
We'll try.
He tells them. He does.
Keep your friends close and
then your enemy's closer. And at this point, Aeolus is just watching and waiting to see what goes wrong. Oh, the mischievous little prick.
Now I wanna get the bag open so they can have closure. 'Cause the end always justifies the means.
Oof.
Keep your friends
Oof. Everything's changed some polities. I mean, to be fair, I would say everything changed since the baby. Because that's when Odysseus was really starting to judge and question his choices for his crew, for the people that were underneath him, for what his role was in life. Did everything have to be covered in blood? Does he always have to live a life of pain? Like, I would say the baby was what broke his conviction.
I feel like it might have put a damper on his conviction. I don't think I could say it went as far as break it.
Well, that was the point where
Polity's dying was
he's-
definitely the bit where it unrolled. The entire down crumbled on that one.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is like that was the moment when Polites' message of trying to be peaceful started to come through to him when Athena decided, hey, remember, you're my warrior. Like Odysseus was finally opening up to the idea that maybe there was another way to live his life other than, a warrior of the mind like Athena.
True. It's a bit difficult to really judge for the full scenario.
And all because
I feel
Zeus had to
like-
tell him to kill a baby.
Oh,
At the end of the
but
day,
when
Zeus still
does
screwed
fuck
all of this up.
something Zeus, known for things.
yes,
Both
yes.
literally and metaphorically.
Predominantly people's minds, yeah. Oh, what? Oh, shit. Hold up. I hit the wrong button.
How this bag is closed, that's how it's supposed to be. This bag
Somehow I was
has
able to click
its
almost right
own
to the right
wicked
spot.
knots, let the treasure rumor fly.
We'll try.
keep your friends close.
Close and your enemies closer.
Now I wanna get the
Things
bag
open so they can have closure. I'm sorry, if you're curious or curiosity is so much that you guys have to start shit talking your boss, you're the problem.
The end always justifies
Oh.
the means. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
For 9 days I've stayed wide awake, trying to make it home with no storm or tidal wave. I remain unopposed, the bag is still closed, and I'm getting closer to you. I can't wait to make some new memories.
You gotta think about that as well. When he left, Telemachus was a baby, so it would be such a jarring experience to see what your son finally looked like after over a decade, or a decade.
Yeah, true. It's definitely going to be a experience for him.
Mm-hmm.
Time for me
Gotta
to be
say,
the father
there's a
I
whole lot of shit going on.
never was. Just keep your eyes open. Why are my eyes and my heart and my soul so heavy? Just keep your eyes open. I keep on trying to embrace you both. Why won't you let me? Just keep your eyes open. So much has changed, but I'm the same. Yes, I'm the same.
Just keep your eyes open.
Keep your eyes open.
Wake up. Wake up. Odysseus, they're opening the bag. Wake up!
Damn it!
God damn it.
They had one job.
Like I said, he never specified that the whole deal with the god was to just keep the bag shut. He just said that this is how it should stay.
I feel like there's some
they all say
interpretations here.
stupid at the same times.
Because a lot of the part of this musical is him taking parts from the story and finding a way to make it convey in a way that makes sense. I believe that the implication of the duel or the bet was that he just had to keep it closed, and he knew that his crew may not believe him because he was already having people doubt him, like Eurylochus. Why didn't he put put it in a lockbox? The more he tried to hide it, I think what the implication was the more he tried to hide it, the more they would try to get at it. So, for the record, I want to make note of that image. There is some really imagery here. When Aeolus was watching him, and like in that last line where he started to fall asleep, he was at his shores. He was almost home when they opened the bag. They were almost there.
9 days later.
Yeah, it took a
Jesus
9
Christ,
days.
that was a travel.
of them, and they literally almost got home, and he finally could rest a little bit. And the moment he rests, they open the bag.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Never really know who you can trust. Where's the storm taking us?
I said to keep the bag closed, but you weren't compliant. If I had to guess, you're headed to the land of the giants.
Technically, he was compliant. His crew f***ed him on this. Can we at least agree to that?
Yeah, the issue is the fact that basically any deal with a god is like how genie wishes are supposed to be f***ed around with.
The monkey paw
It
rules?
needs to be very, very specific.
Hmm.
Help me close the bag!
But sir, it's too late.
We can save whatever wind is left to use another day. Come on!
Odysseus of Ithaca!
Do you know who I am?
We have one
Oh,
more
shit.
song. We have one more song for the record. And this is one of my favorite songs. Never make a deal with Greek
I
gods
agree.
except Hades. He's the chill one out of them all. Yeah, I can see that.
The concerning part is obviously since he's the god of the underworld, he's probably the most feared as well.
Yes, but he never wanted
Although to
that
be
job.
fair, Ares is pretty chill. Ares has got some good things going for him. Also,
Hey,
hi.
Kit. We are reacting to the last song, and then after that, we're going to hop on Repo if you're available. We didn't know when you were going to be getting online, so we decided to do this while we were waiting. We have one last song, and I'm going to tell you, there's a reason why this guy's one of my favorite characters, because damn is his voice good. Hayes is the guy you find at the dive bar that just to have a nice chill conversation about life. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Depending on your interpretation, because like if you're talking about Percy Jackson's Hades, he's kind of a dick.
To be fair, the history, like even most versions of Hades, they don't really give him good portrayal.
No, they
in
don't.
Hollywood.
They don't.
Hollywood doesn't like Hades. I bet if Hades was real, Hollywood would be like, I like you. And
Probably.
he's
Dude,
doing
Hades in anime
That's
would do
great.
great. Like, anime. Oh, dude, imagine a Japanese anime about the Greek gods. Dude, that would slap. That would actually really slap.
They are in records of Ragnarok, and they're kind of assholes. But to be fair, the biggest asshole is once again Zeus.
My brain immediately went to, and I'm like, wait, was Danmachi the Greek gods? It was, wasn't it? Yeah, because Hermes.
Much.
Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Yes. Hestia is Zeus's sister.
Okay.
Though to be fair, she's rarely mentioned outside of Danmachi.
I mean, I'm sure she has a lot of content because of Danmachi. Anyway,
Rule 34 has new content.
lots of it. I will say, in the next act, you're gonna meet one of my favorite characters as well. That is just such a good boy. But let's let somebody who's a little pissed off take the stage for a bit. Also, who did this animation? Animation was done by Neil. Let's go ahead and give a subscription over to Neil. Spread that love around.
Let's go.
Ruthlessness. Oh, I forgot how good this animation was. Hold up.
Oh no, he's hot!
This is where that line of animatic to animation becomes so hard to distinguish because this guy is an animator. Holy shit, that was clean. Also, I don't know how Poseidon lost his arm, but the arm made out of water is so cool.
That's
Genuinely love that
just
detail.
horrifying hell.
Uh-huh.
He's had the most impactful appearance.
Yes.
Even
like-
compared to the first appearance of the Cyclops with the really good animation where he's red.
Like the demon, yeah, the demon Cyclops. Oh, Poseidon and his horsies. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was always weird. Why is he the god of the sea and horses?
Don't know, but it's a nice detail that this is one of the only animators that puts it into their video, so I want to give them more respect for that. I was gonna track this animation down if this was not the animation in the playlist. Real talk.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's really
Yeah,
nice
this
to know that
animator
they
was
can
one of the ones
actually
that I
do it.
knew did like the best job with this particular. Like everybody that I've seen, because I've seen a couple different versions of this, did a good job. He did the best out of everybody.
stepped over the extra mile.
Yeah, he went for it. I'm saying he, like I know for a fact, but they went for it just to play it safe. But yeah.
Poseidon.
In all my years of living, it isn't very often that I get pissed off. I try to chill with the waves, but damn, you crossed the line.
Hey, Emma.
I've been so gracious, and
Yet you heard the son of mine.
that's right. The Cyclops you made blind is mine.
Which, for the record, canonically makes a lot of sense because, believe it or not, Zeus is not the biggest boy in all of Greek mythology. He's the one that gets the most trouble for it. Poseidon technically has had more affairs than anybody else, or has had more sexual partners than anybody else.
I did know that, but Jesus Christ.
Fiddles. Oh no, he's hot.
He's a Greek god. He's
Snow,
kind of
sorry, I read
guaranteed.
that name as Emma. What is wrong with my eyes? Good to see you, Snow. Welcome in. Oh my god, I'm vibing right now. But no, this song is so good.
I'm left with the made of mine. That's right. The Cyclops you made blind is mine.
One more thing, there's a line that is like going to become very repetitive in the song in a good way. I want to point out that some of the people who have reacted to this and commented, like Sayu, one of the people I saw watch this, because I love Sayu's content. He went back and looked to see if this was at any point included in like the writings or anything to do with the story of Odysseus. No, this is something Hori came up with, this mantra. And it hits so hard.
I'm left without a choice and without a doubt. Yes, the back of wolves is swimming with the shark now. I gotta make you bleed. I need to see you drown. But before you go, I need to make you learn how
Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. You are the worst kind of good, 'cause you're not even great.
I love how he's shit talking him as well in the middle of this scene. Like, dude, this could have all been avoided, but you suck.
Yeah.
But that line, ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Hori came up with that and tied it to Poseidon's songs, and it's such a good line.
It's definitely a new one. I've never considered that.
Well, I mean, hey, nobody can hurt you if nobody has the ability to, and nobody has the ability to if you're a ruthless prick. Case in point, and something that he will talk about is if they would have killed the sun, Poseidon would have never known.
Yeah, that's true.
Worst kind of good, 'cause you're
Not even great.
A Greek who reeks of false righteousness, that's what I hate. 'Cause you fight to save lives, but won't kill and don't get the job done.
They're just trying to keep their ship out of the water.
I mean, you totally could have
From
avoided
capsizing.
all this had you just killed my son. But no.
The smugness, but no.
It's so right. Which irritates me because he.
Because technically, Odysseus did the merciful thing. Blinding, he did state that blinding him, he didn't do it because he didn't want to kill it. He didn't want to spill more unnecessary blood. He left it blind out of mercy. Granted, more of a mercy in this case for a Cyclops, yes, probably would have been killing it. living a life with no vision. I don't know. Like, as somebody who's legally blind as shit, I guess I'd rather be alive than, be a corpse. That being said, no, thank you for the follow.
I feel like if he took Eurylochus, I'm not his name right.
Eurylochus?
The guy that's in that picture. Yeah, Eurylochus. If he took that guy, him instead of
Eurylochus. Now I'm second guessing it. Sorry, go ahead.
instead of Polyteus or whatever his name was. I'm gonna go with E and P. If he took E instead of P, he'd have probably killed the Cyclops.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the people who wanted him to kill the Cyclops.
Yeah,
but...
and in the end, obviously, we lost P, and if he had died and he didn't kill the Cyclops, he wouldn't have not killed the Cyclops. He basically took... The only reason he let the Cyclops live, in my opinion, is because Polyteus was on the whole letting things live.
Yeah, in a general sense, he was trying to get away from the bloodshed. He was trying to wash the blood off before he got home.
Exactly. But if E here was there, and E had died, he'd have killed the Cyclops.
Probably. I would like to point out
he would have done.
The person who did the voice of this, and I've heard some conflicting opinions. Some people don't like this, but no, it's so smug. I love it.
It is.
As you just killed my son, but no. As a price. The ice now. Then you let him live. Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Ourselves.
And now it is finally time to say goodbye. Today you die, unless of course you apologize for my son's pain and all his crimes.
Small pause here. Who is the Leaf? That's my buddy quoted. The Leaf is my buddy quoted, who we need to get. I unironically think you need to get like a Leaf person. Like, my brain is going to what would look like a Pokemon, but like a little Leaf chibi or something.
You know, I'll look into making a request.
Fair enough. But yeah.
You know what? Just for the entertainment value, I'll also get a gender bent version because you have one.
You can join us on the Bad Bitches Incorporated streams. But no, so Poseidon's straight up like, hey, you apologize. We'll see what happens. And
he's lying, and I know it.
I'm going to let this play out, and then I'm going to pause at the end of it with my opinion. And I want you guys to give your feedback as well.
There is no way a Greek god will ever be satisfied with an apology. It's full of...
My son's pain and all his crimes. Poseidon, we meant no harm. We only hurt him to disarm him. We took no pleasure in his pain. We only wanted to escape.
Now, did that sound like an apology?
I'd actually generally say it was an explanation towards an apology, so yeah.
I'm in the same opinion. I don't think he ever said, I'm sorry, though. That was, I think, a bit of a problem here. He explained what he did. He explained his actions, but never actually said, I'm sorry.
True.
Which hints at his ego, his cockiness, rather than admitting he was in the wrong for something. Now, for the record, was he actually in the wrong? Because the Cyclops attacked them first. It was self-defense. However, then you can take it to the whole sheep thing, and it goes back and forth. His hubris here, that I think, if he actually would have said, "I'm sorry," at some part of if he started saying, "I'm sorry for your loss," or "I'm sorry for this," and then explained why it happened, then I could have wholeheartedly said, "This is an apology." This feels like somebody rationalizing their actions over apologizing for them.
In fairness, I feel like that would have been acceptable if it was given anyone but a Greek god. Like, if you were explaining why a situation happened and you had decent reason, the apology would be implied in the explanation, and then you'd actually demand an apology to the individual.
Then again, explanation
I
probably
agree
isn't.
with
Go ahead.
the idea that you never apologize to a Greek god.
And the moment you
especially
admit that
Poseidon.
I was about to say, the moment you admit guilt, you're already dead.
Well, yeah, but in a general sense, he knows he's like that. He hasn't tried to say it's not him. In general, he already knows everything is kind of set in stone.
Yeah.
The
I
best he
guess
could have done was just say,
if he wanted to, this also something is like he could have like said, "Hey, I was the only reason why this happened. It was my idea," and then take full responsibility for it. Would be another line where he would be the only one to be punished, possibly. But
really wouldn't have happened.
Wanted to escape the line between naivety and hopefulness is almost invisible. So close your heart, the world is dark and
ruthlessness is mercy. Die.
What have you done? When does a ripple become a tidal wave? 43 left under your command. When does a man become a master? I am your dark.
So, around 550 people that he just nuked. Because we know some people died in the cave.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
so
we've got some people who died earlier.
yeah, as far as it goes, some people, it does imply that some people died in the cave fighting the Cyclops. We don't actually have an exact number, but yeah, he went, 600 people went in with war to war. Polites for sure died in the cave, and a couple of other people died in the cave as well during the fight with the Cyclops. While they were waiting, or while the wine was kicking in.
People dying in that cave?
Huh?
I think a minimum of like 13 people died in that cave.
Really? That
Though
many?
I cannot remember. Well, he killed 2 people in the first swing. Polites was the last to die. I'm pretty sure he kept killing in batches of like 3 and 5. At one point, he threw like 4 people across the room.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure how many people actually died in that situation. I don't, Batu, source material. If anybody's got the source material, I'd be very curious. So, God just nuked, like, say, 550 people in the blink of an eye.
Oh, gotta see, he's got that ability.
And
No
we
surprise.
make note of this very dark line. Hold up. We have the callback to when does a man become a monster from the very beginning of the musical. When he's talking about the baby, when does a man become a monster? And then I am your darkest moment, which is what he said to the Cyclops when he said, I am not man nor mythical. I am your darkest moment. What Odysseus said to the Cyclops after he was on his ship after blinding the Cyclops. So
Yeah.
back to the Jorge, the guy who made this, is a mastermind when it comes to how he wrote this.
Moment, the monster that always draws near. Any last words? All I gotta do is open this bag. What? Remember me.
Okay, couple of things there. I admittedly am not the most fond of that line right there after he is like more like sorrow-filled in this like mentally horrible place watching those people die, and then have the jovial tone of him when he jumps for the bag.
Yeah, that was...
it breaks the immersion for me, and I had that moment happen when I first listened to this. It's great. It's still enjoyable. That is like the one thing that like kind of irks me a little bit, because that is such a moment of deep depression, followed by. I would also like you to like make note. He did that entire interaction after not sleeping for 9 days.
You know, maybe that's part of the reason his mentality, like with jumping for the bag, was so ridiculous.
Jovial.
Not saying it's any reasonable like connection to it. It could have been partially on the mindset of like, well, you've lost all your marbles anyway. You're at 9 days without sleep. I think the max that a human can survive is 10.
Yeah.
Or is it 11?
Him and Sleep are not friends in this journey. The next couple of songs are going to make a lot more sense if you think about the fact that he hasn't slept in 3 days. But we have finished this arc. The next 2 arcs that we will be having will be the Xerxes and the Underworld arc. And I will be letting you all know that the next time we do this, we will be doing both of those at the same time, because each arc is only 3 songs. So that will come out to about 6 songs. I debated on, maybe I'll decide when we get to it, and actually probably do this next week. We'll decide if we want to do 3 songs and then 3 songs. I guess it depends on how much we talk about it. I'll intercut these snippets. Recording again real quick, because I just wanted your feedback on the last couple of songs. I ended it so fast I didn't even think about it. So, Quota, what was your feedback on the last 4 songs? And do you have a favorite out of everything you've listened to so far?
I do like the interaction with the different gods is really interesting. Because it kind of follows through with most of my previous interpretations, funnily enough.
Okay.
Precisely, Poseidon generally being a bit of a dick.
Yeah. And this one in particular, Poseidon is a massive asshole.
To be fair, though, he's not as bad as I was anticipating with Poseidon, especially. Just Poseidon. But generally, he wasn't that bad in this as I would have previously anticipated. The wind god, generally, I don't know why, but a lot of wind gods are seen as, well,
tricksters,
kind of playful. Tricksters. Yeah. And not too bad. Generally makes sense.
The rules of the game were fair. Even if they decided to throw a little caveat, the rule was if the bag did not open, he would have made it home.
Yeah, although the interpretation that you saw the end of the travel and then 9 days later with no sleep, you barely made it and you then get launched Stormwise back. God knows how long.
Entirely another region from what they were implying.
I have a new level of hatred for the masses. That is
his crew that are mostly dead now.
Well, the thing is, they're mostly alive when you think about it, because his crew would only be the people on his ship.
Well,
so everyone else died, but the people on his ship, which includes the people that opened the bag.
Yes.
The only person who currently, I think, my new kind of closest connection, and I still think
I undid my headset. Sorry, 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, try that again.
Yeah, the guy I feel like I like the most, weirdly enough, is E. I still will not pronounce his name.
Or Eurylochus?
That one.
That one.
He's 100%, I feel like, the guy I would connect to most in this story.
That's fair. Weirdly enough, I connect with Odie, I connect with Athena, and I connect with Hermes.
I haven't seen Hermes yet, but
I will let you know he is in the next 3 songs.
That's going to be fun. But I 100% connect with Odysseus the most. Not Odysseus, Eurylochus the most.
Mm-hmm.
Like, out of every single person in this story from start till probably till this point at least.
I connected with Polites until he became a big red splat on the ground.
I didn't. I liked Polites. I did not connect. I did not think I was. By connect, I mean, like, I think I'm most like. And I definitely couldn't say I'm anything like Polites.
That's fair.
To be honest.
If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Please click one of these 2 videos. And if you'd be so kind, like and subscribe. Take care.